1, 2, 1, 2.
Back to the saddle. Get out to get on it.
One foot at a time, but not the foot closest. The back foot, man, as with everything. You always got to put the back foot forward. That's how you walk, baby.
Okay. I'll just trust you on that one.
Now, we were talking about androgyny.
That's a big word.
Yes.
Explain that for me.
Androgyny is where you don't know if you're male or female, or it's a look, androgynous look. Think Grace Jones and Pull Up to the Bumper, which is a great song. Maybe we could put that on our new cutaway. We've got Jamie's got a TV now. We'll get him a camera one day.
I don't want one.
And now for some Conway Twitty. Have you seen that on Family Guy?
Anyway, we've been away for way long. What's been going on, Mark?
Too long.
Why have we been away so long? What's happened to us?
And we've been, I don't know.
COVID.
The COVID thing. Then we just lost our mojo a little bit and couldn't align schedules.
Yeah, it was the stars.
You know what it was? It was just reworking out life after COVID. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Now we're all back, balanced. Kids are in school.
My kid went back to school today. It was actually, you guys said you want to do it on Friday day, and so I just went to preschool and that, and I said, look, we need to get him back in.
Sweet.
And that's what happened. He's in there. He's in 4 days a week.
Whoa.
I'm free 4 days a week. That's
my.
going to be like 5 hours a day. 20 hours a week I got free now, man.
Just living the dream.
Oh, I'm living the dream. This is what it's all about. I just got to make sure that the wife doesn't get jealous of me. So I got to make sure that how's your day when she asks? I got to say, it was pretty shit.
Yeah.
Pretty hard.
I had this convo last night. I was like, she's booking me. She's like, oh, cool, we can get you busier on a Thursday. I was like, I need a few hours to myself, though. I don't get it. I was like, well, you're not me. I need those couple of hours, man.
Yeah, you got to. I suppose there's a good thing. Marshall McLuhan. I don't know if it's not Marshall. It was Rosenthorn. I think his name was. He did this project called Nonviolent Communication, and he said most times when people say comments like that, well, I don't get it, and things like that, they're not saying I don't get it. You need to listen deeper. You got to put. Nonviolent communication. There he is, man. It's one of the best things on YouTube is like if you want a better life, there's probably exercise videos and things like that, but there's also this guy, just how to talk and what people are really saying. Now, your wife wasn't saying, I didn't get it, you're an arsehole. What she's saying is that I need some attention.
Yes.
Listen to me and my needs. I have needs as well.
Yeah.
It's hard.
100%. No, because that's what I thought. I was like, this is not about the time, this is about you. There's something going on there.
Yeah, and there might be some news that she's got. Who knows?
Who knows? That's for next week's episode.
So maybe. How many weeks is it? 9 times 7. I can't do that shit.
12. 12 is this.
Is it? Oh, yeah.
Safety.
Oh, yeah. Safe
well, we've given it away now.
No, we haven't. People don't understand that. The simple folk out there, we're trying to educate them.
Let's give the listeners some credit, mate.
Yeah, and ones that are still around, thanks very much for hanging around. It's only been like 6 months.
Yeah, and if you're not, get back on board because the pandas are back.
We're back and we're hitting it harder. We've got some great guests lined up. We've got Wal Thornhill from Electric Universe.
Boom.
George Giddos, the artist that we were talking about last time. He's back in the country. He's survived Afghanistan and Chicago, and he's back doing his thing.
Nice.
So that'll be good. Interesting cat as well, because he hangs out with the SAS guys, and it'll be a good conversation to see what's going on with the Australian SAS, really.
Yeah. People already know. Haven't you seen the TV show?
Yeah. Oh, no, I haven't. No, I am off the mainstream medium altogether. It's like I don't know. Have I turned into a flat earther?
No, it's horrendous. Though.
Is it really getting bad? Because I just can't handle it, man.
It's cringeworthy watching the news and the ads, but this show is so. And we'll pick 2 or 3 shit shows that we got to watch a year, and I always get sucked into watching them.
Yeah.
And ironically, this time there's the 2 boxers on there: Michael Zerafa and Ebony Bridges. So
okay,
there it is.
Oh, there he is. Yeah.
But I just sit back and think, mate, if the actual SAS guys were watching this, they would just be cringing.
Yeah.
Cringing.
And I haven't even watched it, but I dare say it's kind of like Pop Stars where they have arguments and then you're not very, like it's...
Well, Paulie off Fat Pizza and
is he on
this
it?
other, yeah, and he seems like an alright
He
guy.
must need the money, man.
Him and this
Hey,
other...
Jamie, what about the ads there? Let's get rid of that big ad there.
We've got to pay for it.
Oh, do you?
There he is, look.
Yeah.
There he is here. Got the highlight over there.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, it's...
Where are they doing that? That looks
don't
interesting,
even
that
know.
cliff face.
Look,
That
they do
looks
some...
like Bombo Quarry.
Yeah, it does.
Is it? Yeah, it does.
It could be.
It is.
It is, yeah.
It's Bombo Quarry.
Look at that.
For those
Look
not
at
know,
that.
it's just down the road. We might hang out there. We should run laps around them while they're doing their shit. Take some mushies, say, try this on. Not that we do that shit.
Definitely not.
No. Oh, we're talking the Italian mushies, the dried and porcinis.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Definitely not the hallucinogenic
No,
type.
we wouldn't do that stuff.
We'd be too wise for the world then. And we'd see through all that bullshit.
We would. We'd see through it all. Like that type of stuff's fun. It's okay for a bit of fun, but so is alcohol. It's okay for a bit of fun, but
Moderation.
Yeah, when it starts being like prime time, there used to be dramas on. There used to be actual in-depth, I don't know, news coverage. But now I don't know if in-depth news coverage was ever unbiased. I think it's like the Matrix pill, eh? Once
you're awakened
Once
to
you're
it.
awakened and you see the angles that everyone comes from an angle, no matter what they're saying. There is no such thing as a journalist that's straight down the line. It's impossible. There's some with more integrity than others, but we're all human and we all have an angle.
We all have a bias.
I think the more honest ones show their bias.
Yeah.
And then you can say, this guy's a communist. And he goes, yeah, I'm a communist. This is what I think. And then you can say, okay, well, I'll take that on board. Let's go see what a fascist thinks.
Yeah, we're not like that.
No.
That's why we're brought to you by Pfizer.
Brought to you by-
because Moderna collapsed.
Did Moderna go?
No, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I just heard something today. One of my clients told me that one of them, someone disappeared
How the
off Twitter.
fuck could they collapse?
What happened? Something happened.
Moderna.
Research it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go, Jamie.
That might be hard.
Chatham.
It will be hard. I don't know what to
you like
chat him. It takes me a minute.
Oh, man.
There
it's
you
been-
go.
Oh, the stocks. Yeah.
Oh, stocks are full of shit anyway. If you actually, the Yanks have been printing money left, right, and centre, giving it to CEOs, and they buy their own stocks back and get a big bonus.
It makes you question it. Like, I don't even understand what cash is for anymore.
Well, we're going straight away. Let's call this season 2, and we're straight away into the Bitcoin thing again. And it's
Welcome back.
welcome back. It's even more relevant now,
Yeah.
isn't it? Now the house prices are now $2 million. Last year we were talking $1 million.
It's
It's
fucking
ridiculous.
out of
Now it's 2.
control.
Yeah, it's out of control.
It
Why
is.
is it? Because money's not worth anything.
Yeah.
It's
Look at-
devaluing.
Look at petrol at the minute. The other day I jumped in. I got this little runaround car. It's $2 almost a litre. How do you go from $1.30 and justify
60
up
cents.
to... It's fucking outrageous. Yeah, exactly.
60
yeah.
cents is he like 50 cents, brother? No, I thought of
We'll
fucking...
excuse
Yeah,
man.
that
It's
was
been a
pretty
while.
shit,
He's
man. It's been a while.
he's got to relax a little bit.
have to relax into it. But we're going to do a couple of trial runs, but we're not. We're just sticking the shit out.
That's what we do.
That's what we do.
Raw and unedited.
We're only going to go for an hour or so today, which will be good. There's so much to get through, man.
There
We've
is.
got personal shit that's been going on for the last few months. But I suppose the biggest momentum, we're on Friday, it's the 25th. And
Yes.
today, I think, and yesterday was like a momentous day in world affairs. Like, it's the biggest day since September 11th, I think, because Russia attacked military installations in Ukraine. And if you're watching mainstream media and all that, Putin bad, it's just the same old shit, okay? Russians they just, out of the blue, decided to blow up all this shit. But if you actually want to scratch the surface a little bit deeper, it goes back almost 30 years. So 30 years ago, the Soviet Union broke up. And but it didn't just break up. There were agreements made between America, which is NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization, which NATO, for those not in the know, here's a quick little rundown. That sounds like...
That's a vibrating phone, not it?
What is that?
It's quite irritating. Stop.
It could be the CIA, man. That camera's about to shoot me
Someone's
in the
listening.
head. We haven't even put it up online. That's fucking scary.
They already know.
That's how good they are.
Anyway, I'm going to try and do a 2-minute rundown. Okay, so NATO was organised evidently to fight the Soviets or balance the Soviets, who had the Warsaw Pact full of Poland, all of Eastern Europe, right? 2 pacts. Soviet Union falls apart. And NATO, rather than saying, okay, we don't need to use this anymore, they decide, okay, we've got the whole fucking playground now, let's take it over. But in 1990s, they actually said to Gorbachev, and they've just found documents proving it, that they would not move 1 inch to the east. They would not move past Germany. So NATO wouldn't expand. That was the deal. Like, don't forget that Russia still had Eastern Germany.
Yep.
They didn't have to give it up.
Okay.
But, Gorbachev was actually a bit of a patsy. I think we all loved him and all that, but he's a bit of a fucking dickhead, really.
Yep.
And he didn't even get it. He didn't get it signed officially, but the statement was everyone knew that they weren't going to move 1 inch to the east. And what they do over the last 3 years, they moved right to fucking Russia's borders.
Yep.
And Russia's been going on about this for 30 years, but they've been weak. Under Yeltsin in the 90s, Yeltsin was a drunk. He sold everything the fucking Soviets had built up to these oligarchs, gave it to them for free. Billionaires took over everything. It was like the mafia ruled Russia and the West really liked it. They made a lot of money from it, man.
Yeah.
And it was all good, and Russia were our friends. Remember that? And then 2000, around about there, Russia wasn't our friends anymore. That's because a guy called Vladimir Putin came in. And he was an old-school Russian guy, and he just wasn't into that shit. And he was embarrassed by what had happened to Russia, and he wanted to get her on her feet. That's why he's the enemy, because he's putting Russia back on her feet. And he's, I don't know the ins and outs. People hate him. I think you should make your own decision about it. Go watch. If you hate Putin and all that, just do yourself a favour. Spend 20 minutes listening to one of his speeches and see what you think. Don't believe me or anything else. Just fucking go do some research. Anyway, so the Russians are fucked off about this, and they're more than fucked off. And so Ukraine happens. There's a colour revolution where the elected leader is violently dethroned. Like he was elected. No one says he wasn't democratically elected in 2014. He was, and they got rid of him. They put this stooge in, basically, and everyone was really happy about that. Apart from the people in the east of Ukraine who were Russian speaking, and they actually voted for this guy. So they decided if our votes don't count, fuck it, we're out of here. We're going to have our own. We'll create our own country, and the Ukrainians, they could have done 2 things. One of the things they could have done is actually negotiate with these guys and said, no, you'll be all right. We're all Ukrainian. We'll sort this out.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. Oh, this is a guy now, Zelensky, who's he's the leader of Ukraine at the moment. He's actually a comedian actor. He used to play
He played a president.
He played
didn't
a president. Yeah. He's a cocaine fiend, and he's a bit of a sorry character, really. Like, this is what happens, I think, can happen with democracy, and we get it all through the West. Like, look who we got in the West. Like, what happened yesterday with Russia attacking these places in Ukraine was a Western failure. Our leaders are fucking idiots. It didn't have to happen. Those kids on the front line didn't have to die, That could have been sorted out easily. Russia had been saying for years, and in the last 6 months, they've been basically saying, look, it's coming to the end now. NATO can't have Ukraine. We've been invaded by the Nazis through Ukraine. We've been invaded through Ukraine 3 times in the last 100 fucking years. It's not going to happen now, right? We need to stop NATO going into Ukraine. They're our enemy. In the NATO charter, it says Russia's the enemy. Like, this is a sword. NATO is the sword of the United States, and they wanted to put the sword in Ukraine. And Russia, I don't know, this is well over two fucking minutes. Anyway, so Russia feels incredibly threatened. They wanted to do a peace deal. They wanted to peacefully say that Ukraine would not join NATO and it'd all be good. Okay, you guys do what the fuck you want. Don't attack these 2 regions because they're full of Russian speakers. We won't have it. But there's a thing called the Minsk Agreement. It happened in 2015. Ukraine signed it. Germany, France signed it. Got ratified by the UN as the actual peace agreement for Ukraine. So there's an agreement there. This could have all stopped fucking 2 days ago if Ukraine had gone along with the peace agreement. The peace agreement said there'll be new elections in Ukraine where the Russian speakers can actually vote because there's been a lot of racism against Russian speakers there. And they said in Donbass and Lugansk, they get some form of autonomy. You can still tax them and stuff like that, but you don't get to go in there and kick their ass and stuff like that. They're autonomous. If that happened, there's new elections, they got autonomy relative, still within the boundaries of Ukraine, then Russia would close the border to Donbass, because at the moment they're open. Close it, and then it's done. And that got signed in 2015, the Minsk Agreement. There we are. So, that's NATO.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Minsk agreement, and ever since it was signed, and it was signed because the Ukrainian army were defeated in the field by the militias. They were about to. Russia could have taken them over fucking in 2015. They didn't, and they've been saying ever since they want the Minsk agreement. And only 6 months ago, they stopped talking about the Minsk agreement, the Russians, and they said, no, we want legally binding guarantees, security guarantees that NATO won't attack us and that we'll have a buffer. That's all they wanted.
Yep.
They wanted it fucking 2 days ago. And 2 days ago, there was the final peace conference was supposed to happen between France, United States, and Russia, and France and the United States pulled out. That actually yesterday, the 24th of February. And that was it. They didn't think, the Minsk agreement's there. And the West were just goading the Russians.
Oh, man.
You know, and it was like...
It's like the war was on before it was on.
The war's been on
weeks ago.
since 2014, you
Yeah.
know, and they didn't think... And also, maybe in 2014, Russia wasn't strong enough to do anything about it. They are now.
Yeah.
They're fucking strong.
Yeah.
And I don't think they took the decision lightly, and I don't think they wanted to do it. But they're going to... Ukraine now is going to be a neutral country, whether it likes it or not.
Yeah.
And, we're still in the middle of all this. And it just shows the arseholes the West has as leaders, man.
Yeah.
Like, we've failed the Ukrainians, failed the Russians. You know, they're playing this game.
Forced them into that
Forced
position.
them in, you know, like, and if you think I'm talking a load of bullshit, fair enough, but just do some research. And just, here's a thought exercise. What if Russia was putting nuclear weapons, missiles and shit in Mexico? You know, these missiles in Romania that can hit Moscow in 3 minutes. That's not a fucking joke, you know. And obviously, like, Russia's just, they've weighed it up and they said, okay, the West, they're not serious about negotiating. Right, it's hammer time.
Yeah.
You know, and they brought the hammer down. And the world changed yesterday. So since basically 1990, it's been an American-dominated world. NATO has ruled the world with no challenge at all. Yesterday, that stopped.
Yeah.
So we're in a now. We went from a unipolar world for 30 years, where there's one boss. Now there's two. China's there. There's now going to be three, and there's probably going to be a lot more after that as well. So we're all going to have to get along somehow. And this warmongering shit, you know,
Our leaders aren't doing a good job of it. Fucking hell.
I hate to say it, but it's democracy shit. Like, look at our leaders. We've got Scott Morrison over here. Like, love him, I don't give a fuck, but he's not the Prime Minister of Australia. Like, he's not leadership material. He's a fucking marketer.
Yeah.
You know, and the Labor guys...
Failed marketer.
Failed marketer.
You wouldn't give him a job. My old man
Like
keeps saying
England,
that.
Boris Johnson, he's a fucking clown.
Yeah,
he's a clown
he
that can
is.
talk well occasionally, but he's a fucking clown. And Biden
He
is
can't
insane.
even do his hair, that bloke. And then we got a geriatric
You've
old
got a
guy running
geriatric
the
guy with
States.
fucking Alzheimer's.
It's insane.
It's everywhere in the West. This thing called democracy is fucking failing.
But what
you
the
know?
fuck is happening? I don't understand
I
how
think-
society's backing these guys.
I
Like,
think it's
It's
because...
been the way, I think, all along, but now people are just...
it's so clear.
because
Well, I think
you
after
can
World War II,
communicate better.
they had to have decent leaders. They were all ex-soldiers that actually knew what war was. They had a bit of skin in the game.
Yeah.
And,
These guys are so detached.
Yeah,
detached,
but have
mate.
you?
I don't know.
I watched that JFK Revisited. With they're all
I've been
fucking
trying to watch
crazy.
that, man.
You can't. You have to watch it via. I think it's on Showtime or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
It's only
even
for
get
three
Showtime here,
for
can
3 months, and then it's going to be released everywhere.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But
yeah.
you see all these like hardened military guys, and all they want to do is fight. They want war constantly.
They're a hammer, man. Everything's a nail.
Yep. JFK was against all that shit. He wanted to pull out of Vietnam.
Yeah.
Which was, I don't know, because there's all these released documents that were previously never obtained.
That show's caused a lot of shit in the left. I don't know if you call them left, but in the academic community, like Noam Chomsky and stuff like that, who, you know, is one of my intellectual idols, but I completely fucking disagree. I think he's in his 90s now, and I think maybe he should shut the fuck up.
But these are only new documents, like
I know, but he put something out 2 days
recently,
ago.
really.
Oh yeah, and they're paying out Oliver Stone, and I couldn't watch it all because it was like right wing shit. I'm like, what's going on here? No, like just
Old.
At least watch the fucking movie before you critique it. You know,
Yeah.
Same with the hating Putin shit and all that. At least go fucking know what you're critiquing.
Do some
man.
research.
Yeah,
Stop
like-
watching the news highlights.
Oh, and also stop watching news highlights because the news highlights has a history. There were no weapons of mass destruction. Hundreds of thousands of people, fucking civilians died in Iraq and Syria and Libya and shit for a fucking lie. And who pushed it? Who made you believe that?
Yeah,
it was the mainstream media. Have they said sorry?
No.
They haven't said fucking dick, and they're doing it again in Ukraine.
But there's a problem now. Is all this shit gets exposed now, and people come out and we're just flooded with so much information that no one seems to care.
Yeah.
I can't even have a conversation with most people.
Well, the scary thing
it.
about it is you stop trying.
Yeah,
that's what I do.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm just going to be on the podcast ranting my shit, and that's
Have
it.
you ever heard about? There's an old quote. It's a man convinced against his will is still of the same opinion still. So if you try and convince someone against what they believe, it's not going to work because they still believe the same.
Yeah, it doesn't work, and it's not the right thing to do. Like what you need to do is give your side of it, and then give them where to find the information. Make your own mind up. But
people have to do that.
Yeah,
that's the only way they'll change their mind if they actually.
Because it took me fucking years. Because we
Oh.
all grow up in a society, and basically, if you're in Russia, North Korea, or in Australia or America, you believe your society is the best. This is you're brainwashed because you're a baby and you're a clean slate.
Yeah,
you know, and that's just happens in human society. And then hopefully you get to a stage where you just start questioning everything and don't stop. You know, and I question myself all the time. Like even now, I'm thinking, fuck, am I so far gone? Like, I've watched mainstream media, and I just hear nothing but fucking lies. I'm like, maybe I've lost it. You know, like I don't fucking know, but all I can do is use my critical facilities as they are, and just call out bullshit when I hear it, and I just fucking hear nothing but bullshit.
People are just checked out now. They're so fucking distracted with all. You know, it almost seems like part of the social plan, and you know, with all the apps and the phones, and there's so much fucking distraction, and you're just flooded, and people don't even entertain the idea of going off and reading something because it doesn't. They have to consciously think, "Oh, I'm going to go research this," as opposed to like getting caught up in the scroll.
Yep,
it's fucking.
It was, you know, life's really quick. The pace is. Rather than slowing down, all these machines have actually sped it up. In fact, if you want to slow down your life, you fuck all the machines off.
Yep.
And then it's like this.
The pressure goes.
This weight on us all, man. It's subtle, but it's fucking.
I'm telling you, I left my phone at home on last Sunday. I was just feeling like tick 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 tick. It's like just fuck off. Just left it at home. Went out. I was like, oh, feels it's so good man. That I've left that away because I can't be contacted. Yeah. You just need to fucking be grounded within yourself occasionally. Then you don't have the space or freedom to do that anymore. Especially, you know, we work for us. I work for myself, and it's like that's your means of contact and your means of advertising and growth. And it's like, fuck,
that's everything.
Just go away. Yeah, just give me some space, man. Let me fucking float into.
What do we got here,
that book I've just pulled up is all about that.
Yeah,
why you can't pay attention.
Yeah,
it's all about. Basically, your phone, social media.
Yeah.
Like, just turn it off.
It's not hard. We have you can disconnect. We do have the choice, and that's the problem. Everyone thinks they don't. You don't need to be on the phone.
Yeah.
And but you realise how fucking addicted you are then.
Well, I'm trying to go for a walk without the phone every night. You know, just get out, have some dinner and go for a power walk or go up the hill. And every time I come back and I left my phone, like the wife's saying, I was trying to contact you for this or this. You know, it's like, fuck now.
But what can't wait? That's nothing can wait anymore because of that. Oh, you didn't get back to me. Oh, so-and-so didn't like this. They didn't come. Fuck, man. It's too much. Like, it is.
Same with the news, though. You can become addicted with news.
100%.
I'm really bad with YouTube and that and just jumping down there. And I feel like almost I'm hungover. By the end of the day, my eyes are fucking bleeding.
Information overload.
Yeah, and what good does it do you, really? You know?
YouTube's no longer what it was.
No.
YouTube is just another social media platform.
Oh, it's completely censored. I don't get to 100%. See any information that I don't... Well, actually, the information now, like I follow RT and stuff like that just to check out the other side. You can't actually get it now on YouTube. You know?
It's Russia Today for...
Russia Today. And this is, like, if you don't know where to even look, I think at the moment you can't even get Russia Today. But if you get a VPN, route it through Russia and you'll be able to watch it at RT. Oh, they're all propagandists. Well, so is the BBC. So what? You can watch both of them, then make up my own mind. For me, the journalist they have on Russia Today and that they seem top mark to me, man.
Look at the first thing that's pulled up, though, under that search of Russia today.
Yeah.
Australia, you've got the mainstream narrative down. Go down.
Yeah.
Morrison.
Condemns Russia's
Yeah.
brutal invasion, Channel 9 News.
Yeah. He condemns.
Oh, and then quickly, just underneath, show's reaching Omicron peak.
Omicron peak. It's always like they've got the whole state of the Western society. I don't know if the East is like this, but we're in a constant state of panic, man.
Yeah, everyone's anxious. And
Yeah,
angry
it's like
and agitated. And
we didn't think it was really bad before COVID.
Yeah,
You know, and then now there was 2
Nuts
years of
now.
full nuts, and
Yeah.
now we're all like PTSD or some shit.
there's something going on, and you can literally feel it.
Oh, yeah.
the society just feels like unsettled. Eh?
Well, for our Melbourne viewers, man, I was down there at Christmas, and it wasn't the Melbourne that I knew. You know, I go down there every year. My brother lives down there, and that would go out. It's great. It was a bad scene, man. Just a bad vibe everywhere. Every cafe, you know, was tension everywhere. You know, it was a real. It's fucked the society, really. Like it's. I don't know if Melbourne will get it back. Hopefully, it will. But yeah,
Even simple shit like there's been such a dramatic shift in being able to have a difference of opinion. Even God, fat yaks, they're good.
Isn't
Don't mind
it?
them.
Fat yak is good.
I'll tell you what, because I mean they're no burly big heads.
Yeah, they are, no. But we're doing exercise now. We're being healthy now.
We're
Surely
sweet.
once a week we'll have a
You
few
can have a
fat
couple
yaks.
of beers.
What about the Wakachangies?
They are
They're
good.
not bad.
Yeah. I tell you what's bad now is that there are too many craft beers.
Oh, yeah, there are.
Remember that ridiculous? I spent like $60 on 4 beers.
I've still
that
got
time.
one of those cans.
They
in there,
are
man.
horrendous.
Yeah.
I went in the same shop the other day, and there was another 100 types of beers.
Yeah.
I thought I'll go safe with the Kosciuszkos, and they were a different type, and
Yeah.
same shit. I was like, God, you can't just add flavouring to stuff and
yeah.
make it. That's
That's cheating.
not how it works. It is cheating.
Yeah. It's like doing a good chili and you want a hot chili and people just chuck heaps of chili powder. I'm like, no, that's cheating, man. You got to build up different types of chilies and stuff, and you still got to have the flavour there.
I mean, not just the heat.
It can't just be the heat.
Yeah.
There's got your heat incorporated into what you're doing. Same as beer. It's an art and a science. I think beer brewing. There we go. Heaps normal peanut butter
That
porter.
shit.
Like, give me
That's
a
the
fucking
one we
break.
bought. That was disgusting.
$123.
Shout out to Heaps Normal. I know the girl who's kicking that off.
Oh, really?
Really?
Riley Martin and her boyfriend or fiance.
Nice.
Well, tell Riley to fucking send us a few and we'll
Ship
do a
us a
review.
Yeah,
six-pack.
we should, eh?
We'll do a beer review.
Yeah, give us beer,
What
right?
a bit-
Oh, we'll do a beer review.
There we go.
thing.
There's the new segment.
New segment. Let's
Starting
start it with
next
the fat
week.
yak.
Yes.
Because
Fat
we
yaks
got a
are-
beer.
They're not
Like,
bad.
Yeah, we got to do better than not bad. Like it's almost a go-to beer for me as a fat yak. It's a berry tasting beer. This is a pale ale. I know that because I just
Read the label, yeah. Look, it's not a. It's got decent flavour.
It's the back of the throat. Well, it's not.
It's got enough, but it's not like overly.
Yeah.
It's not over the top.
You could drink a 6-pack of this.
You
and
could. You'd be alright.
You'd be right. You wouldn't probably do a dozen.
No.
I don't think I'd do a dozen anymore. Anyway.
No, but it's good. It's got enough flavour to get you by, but it's not overly.
The best beer in Australia. Who said that is?
I don't know.
James Squire 150.
See, I
don't mind the
I
150
I did
license.
just buy a case of them. Like I was just looking for a safe beer, and they're
Yeah.
not a bad safe beer if you're going to drink a few of them.
Low carb, pure blonde. I would think.
Piece of shit. Get
Yeah,
them
I
off
think
there.
the what's the name was better than that.
They're useless.
Really big heads.
Yeah.
Where's the pubs?
Pubs. It's not in America, is it?
Oh my god.
Best American beer,
Oh,
Miller.
look at this.
Oh, that's a fucking joke.
Hold on. So best Australian beer.
That was the best. That was an Australian response to the best Australian beer.
But I think by
Tilly's
Australian
new.
beer, they're meaning like VB, like those huge old like Fosters and shit. Now,
Yeah,
if you had to
okay.
pick one of them,
VB.
you'd go VB.
No,
over-
you know what? Lately, I would probably just say Carlton. Carlton Cald.
I'd probably go Carlton. I really
more refreshing
I
than-
really hate Castle, man. That 4X shit. I haven't had
I
it
don't
in
like that
years.
shit. It's water.
I think Adam didn't you Adam, you didn't mind that.
What's that?
Castlemaine 4X. You used to drink that, didn't you?
Yeah, I don't mind the summers when you're hungover.
Okay.
The 4X summers.
Oh, yeah.
Very watery, but
Yeah.
You know, when you're hungover, you can just drink like water, soda water, electrolytes.
yeah, but sometimes you just need
That
another
does.
beer. You know,
Yeah,
when
yeah,
you're
I'll
that
hear the dog.
hungover.
Hair of the dog.
Yeah.
Where did that saying come from?
I don't know. I don't reckon it works, personally. Scientifically, it's supposed to. Because I think that's what the hangover problem is. That your body...
I think it's what happens with
the
enzyme in
down.
your liver is it creates a molecule which evidently they found the hangover molecule, and if you sniff this molecule, you get a fucking instant hangover. So there's a molecule in your liver that is created by the alcohol, transmuting the alcohol to something safer. So I think there might be a product out that just gets rid of it now. Although evidently Wim Hof breathing gets rid of it as well.
Okay.
It's hardcore.
I feel like you'd throw up.
That might be part of the cure.
How do your hangovers go with age? Better or worse?
Far worse.
See, I don't get them anymore. Really? I've noticed I don't get them anymore.
Yeah, well, for me, I don't get drunk enough to really have a hangover.
That's probably what it is, what we drink too.
Yeah, so I used to just smash it and then get really drunk and be a fucking dick. No, I don't. I really don't like that buzz. I like 2 beers, and I think that's almost the peak buzz is the 2 beers, and then everything else is to try and just keep on that nice level,
2 quick beers is a buzz.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like between 4 and 6 is good.
Yeah.
Not beers, but like 4 and 6 drinks.
Yeah. Well, we'll see about that.
We got to drive home, so.
We do have to drive home.
I do. You do.
Yeah, you got to pick the kids up.
Yeah, true.
I got to pick. I think I got to pick one. Yeah, one of them. I better check on that. I think I am.
Congeners.
Where are we? We're back to, what's this? The man shake. Oh, no.
Congeners. Chemicals called congeners.
Can also cause more intense hangovers.
Read to learn about what congeners are, what drinks to avoid, tips for recovery, and more.
Dehydration, gas, electrolyte imbalance, immune system, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, hangovers suck.
It's bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where were we on Ukraine? Real quick. Because if you go, you can make your own mind up on it, but what was you sent us to watch? Because that was pretty eye-opening.
Oh, we'll send a fucking link. Tejas.
How do you spell that?
Let me, we'll put a bit of this cat up now. I'm going to find it on my phone. Because I just got to remember his name.
When you hear about the real life stuff happening in what town was it?
Donetsk.
Yeah. When you hear about the real life stuff happening to the citizens of that country and what's been done to them by Ukraine, you start to understand Russia's defense a lot better.
Right, let me just find this cat's name. I think it's Russell something. Russel Bentley. So out there, check out Russel Bentley. Now, Russel Bentley, man, you've seen Inglourious Bastards, a Tarantino film. There's a Brad Pitt character, and he hates Nazis. And he talks like this, and he fucking gets knives and carves swastikas into Nazis' heads and shit. Well, this Russel Bentley guy, check out on YouTube, man. Here he is, man. He's been in Donetsk, which is the breakaway republic in Ukraine. He's been in there 8 years now, working as a soldier, man, on the front lines.
He sold all his shit.
And he fucked off to Ukraine. And he hates Nazis.
Basically, the Ukrainian army has already been defeated. Russia, just exactly like I predicted, and yes, I'm going to go ahead and say I told you so. The Russian army smashed every airport, every air defense installation in Ukraine last night with cruise missiles. They went ahead and have landed. It seems right now Mariupol is already liberated.
I don't know how much I can show of that.
Yeah, I know. We'll show a little bit of that, but you guys jump on. We'll send a link to him. This guy, he's been there for 8 years. He saw what was going on. He just couldn't take it anymore. He's just got... Love him or hate him, he's got balls of steel. We can sit here in our rooms in Ukraine or whatever, and we can complain about Ukraine or you complain about the Russians. He's over there, man. Yeah. Frontline stuff, and then he's 61 now, so he does like YouTube stuff, and it's good no matter what side of the argument you're on. It's good to see the other side and see what their points are, you know, and make your own mind up. Now he's at the front line, and 2 days ago he put up this footage of him in his backyard. And the West has been saying that there's been no Ukrainian attack on Donetsk where he is. And he's got his phone there. And you can just listen. And you can hear the artillery shells landing around his house and shit. It's real. 14,000 civilians have been killed in Donetsk over the last 8 years. Yeah. They're all Russian citizens. And what are the Russians doing in Ukraine? Well, Ukraine was made up weirdly. You know, like these people have been there for hundreds of years. It's their place, and basically the Russians just weren't going to take that shit anymore. And I don't think we'd accept it either.
No.
If they're Australian citizens in some fucking island everywhere and they're under real pressure and the civilians getting killed non-stop,
You would hope the army would back them.
you'd hope we'd back them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the army would. I don't know if our politicians would. But, yeah, so he's a really interesting guy.
Have you seen this one?
I think that's about the journalist building being bombed by the Ukrainians. Yeah, really. He's a funny motherfucker.
Talk about the Nazis at
He's
the
a real
Ukrainian
Texas
Nazis.
dude. Oh yeah, that was
Tejas.
savage.
Well, you actually look up just Wikipedia or something. Just look up Ukrainian Nazis. So people think the Russians are full of shit. There's Nazis in Ukraine. Well, there is. You know, the Azov Brigade, Azov Battalion, they're neo-Nazis, but they have their own swastika symbol. They fly the swastika flag. Like, it's a real thing. Ukraine is, the Americans, basically Ukraine, from what I can see, has been taken over by CIA operatives. You know, the United States, they're the power in the world, or they have been until yesterday. And how do you keep power? You keep power by defeating your enemies, really. And where's the weak point of Russia? Well, you go through Ukraine. So they've put people in power and put weapons into Ukraine, and then they've same what they did in Syria by powering up the Muslim radicals. Well, they've done the far right radicals in Ukraine, and there's Nazis in Ukraine as of fighters, greatest threat. So yeah, maybe some images of the Nazi stuff anyway. So there's there's a long history of far right Nazis in Ukraine. It's just a fact.
Yeah.
So Jan will get some stuff up. Maybe just images, man.
Azov.
Yeah. Neo-Nazis. Ooh. Someone loves me.
Someone's thinking Willie. Here he is.
Yeah. Look at that.
Yeah, so that symbol there is
They made up
it's a
their own
takeoff
version.
of the Third Reich. And it goes right back to World War II. See, look, there's a Nazi, that's the actual swastika there.
Yeah.
United States reaping what it underplays role of far right. So, like, it's not a joke. They're actual full-on Nazis. There's footage of these Azov Brigade burning Russians alive at the cross.
Fucking
Burning them alive, you know. In Odessa in 2014, when the coup happened in Kiev, and the elected government were they were deposed violently, there were protests around Ukraine, and in Odessa there were protests, and it was kind of like a Occupy Wall Street. They're all kind of hipsters, and they sat down in the main council building. They're all burnt alive. So the Nazis came in there, they started attacking them and beating them to death, and then the doors to the council building suddenly opened. They all ran in there to flee from the beatings, and that the doors were closed, and then petrol's doused them, and they're burnt alive.
Fucking hell.
So Putin just said that in his speech. He said he knows the names of the people that did it, and they're going to find justice. And so, like, when he said he's going to Ukraine to denazify Ukraine, he's not joking. No, they're not playing. And these people in the east of Ukraine, they fought the Nazis. There's old people there that were there when the Nazis were there.
Yeah.
So I think in the West we lose all historical context.
We do.
Do you think
too caught up in now?
Do you think with the Ukrainian Nazi sort of stuff, because I've got images here of like the SAS flying a Nazi flag.
Well, that's what
the
I
American
wanted to talk to George Giddos about. I'm like, what's happened to the Australian SAS? When he was in the Australian SAS, he wasn't the official. They have an official artist that goes around and draws the Australian Army. He wasn't one of them, but basically he had free access in the 90s to the Australian SAS because they were well regarded around the world. They were straight up cats, they had a fucking good name. And then if you'll see up here, this is an Australian armoured vehicle with a swastika on it. Has this right-wing shit...
And same as the American photo there.
Yeah.
With the SS.
So what the fuck's going on? Yeah, so this is it's a real thing.
I think it's all over the world, isn't it?
It's a cultural change that's happening. I think it's Mussolini's definition of fascism was when government and corporations join forces. I think underneath it all, we can see what's happened.
Yeah.
You know, we haven't gotten onto the original World War II. If you look, who funded Hitler? He was just a joke in Germany.
Yeah.
And
He was a
Henry
fucking
Ford,
idiot.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was the American industrialists and German industrialists funded him. They thought, okay, these far right assholes, at least they'll sort out the fucking workers, and we can control them. They couldn't control them.
Fucking hell.
That's the fucking truth. They couldn't, and they're pulling the same shit. And it seems that this Nazi stuff has infiltrated the armies, which is fucking scary, man.
Yeah.
Because that army is where the power is.
Yeah.
You know, let's say we got a left-wing government in Australia, which, you know, ain't going to happen. But let's say we did. What would fucking happen? There'd probably be a coup here. It could happen here, man.
Yeah.
These things that happen in Ukraine and other places, they're not far away. You know, like they could fucking happen here.
Yeah.
And it takes good people that just want to live in a... We all want to live peacefully and have our little lives, but sometimes people need to stand up. Like, and even if it's just like being truckers in Canada and saying, hey, we're all vaccinated,
Yeah.
but we don't believe that you should fucking mandate
Yeah.
that, you know, people lose their jobs if they decide not to have a medical procedure. Like, everyone's power stops at my fucking body. I'm the one that chooses.
Yeah.
You know, the only time I'd go against that is if Ebola broke out.
Yeah.
You know, we're talking a 50%
fucking
death
eating you
rate.
alive, yeah.
And then you wouldn't need a fucking mandate
Everyone
because
would do it,
everyone would
yeah.
fucking take the vaccine. You know,
Yeah.
like it would just be a no-brainer.
Yeah.
I think the public mind is a lot smarter if it's left alone than people think.
That's the problem,
You know?
though, is it's not.
It's not left
It's
alone.
continually like, this wool pulled over our eyes constantly. We're distracted.
Yeah, like it's horrible because once you see it, you can't unsee it, and then it almost drives a wedge between you and
it
society.
Does. It
and it's-
agitates you.
yeah,
It's not like you can't watch
you,
anything.
you just can't watch
You
it.
can't
So-
speak about anything.
Yeah. And then and then you see these shows that people are watching on TV, like grown adults watching, and you're like,
Yeah.
what the hell?
Maths.
Maths.
You know?
Fucking M watches that every week. I'm like, God damn it. It's just shit.
Oh man, yeah. Not to be a bummer or anything, but there's a real
There's real shit to worry about though,
Yeah.
and there's things that should occupy your time and they don't. Like
Yeah.
we all have kids, and I think it's more of a, in my experiences, it tends to be more of a male-dominated thing to worry about.
yeah.
All my male friends and
I
anyone I
think
talk,
so, yeah.
I've talked to different clients, different people I come across. They seem to be more in tune and more concerned about what's happening in the world.
Do you think it's
Then-
because there's well, I have to get Steve Hughes on the comedian. He's got a good piece recently about it. And he was talking the same thing, and like the big bands, they're all male bands. Is that male chauvinism, or is it the fact that with politics and that it's mainly a male thing, like we're discussing now, because women have babies.
Yeah.
Like they fucking create life. Like that is
This
the
guy.
most fucking important thing
Yeah,
there is.
we have
you
to
know?
be concerned with protecting it also, though.
Well, that's and our
Like,
our thing is
that's
to
our job.
protect it
Yeah.
and to go around it. There we go, Steve Hughes. Man, he's the most.
He's got the best bit on real men.
yeah.
Real men fuck other men.
Yeah, that's right. How strong do you have to be to fuck another guy? I like that what he's saying. He goes, like men that like women.
Yeah.
Their beautiful hair and large breasts.
Big
How
girly
fucking
tits.
gay is that? I fuck men. It's pretty manly, really, when you think about it.
It's a funny bit.
Is he gay?
No,
Nah, man, he's
He's a champ.
He's just a bit fucked in the head, I think.
he's just a comedian.
Can't keep
Yeah,
a
yeah.
relationship down in that. And this woke world, I don't even like using the word woke. I don't.
Whatever it is.
I try. Yeah, whatever it is. Like left and right,
Confused. They're just
It's all a
confused.
bit of a mess. Anyway, but he's not the way he does his comedy is not fitting in.
Yeah, right.
I think, but even Dave Chappelle's saying that when you see his last special and all that, he's saying
Yeah.
like he can't tell a joke.
Yeah.
Not
Without
all,
it being blown.
blown all
So,
out of proportion.
Yeah. You can say something
The
without...
words, they kind of have a power, but
But it's the intent behind the
it's the
words that
intent,
matters,
that
not the
is the
words.
power.
This is the fucking problem.
yeah.
You can't say
You
anything.
can use any disgusting
Yeah.
words you want. It doesn't matter if
And-
you're coming with an open heart.
Exactly. I can. I can say cunt right now, but it's not like I'm not calling you a
Yeah,
a
yeah.
cunt.
Look at
It's
Ricky
just like,
Gervais.
it's just
Every
a
fucking
It's
fucking
part
word.
of Australian slang,
It
isn't
is. We swear probably more than any other culture.
And especially
I think
that
Kiwis are
word.
pretty close. But it is a lazy thing. We haven't talked about this before.
It is.
What's-
yeah.
We would need to find some
We
new
are-
swear words. Scuddlerfuss?
Fuck
I
is
think
just-
that's
I just
Greek
love
for
that.
you eat your own shit or something.
Oh god!
That's-
If it doesn't have the same effect,
No.
it's not sharp enough.
No, no.
A
you
wo-
want-
a swear needs to be a little bit blunt
Guttural.
and sharp. And like,
yeah.
Have you heard about like the Russian language? They think it covers more emotions than English. Have you ever heard that?
That's funny because the Russians seem to have no fucking emotions.
Yeah,
Isn't that weird?
That is.
Well, they're just stoic, aren't they?
Oh, they're incredible
Really?
stuff. Like watching this,
There's power in
the
that.
live stuff going on now in Russia and the refugees and that coming in because there's all these refugees going to Russia. You know, all the kids now to get out of Donetsk and stuff. And it's like going back to 1940s or something. You know, like no one's smiling, but no
within
one's.
themselves.
They're all within
Yeah.
themselves. They're all really. I
They
really
probably
dig
ha-
it. I really like it.
You know what? They're probably
Yeah.
more balanced and happier for it.
Yeah.
I got to get the toilet. Real
Oh
quick.
yeah. Hey, why don't you grab?
Take a break?
The last. Of
Yeah,
our
we'll do
beer.
it.
Should we do a break?
Do the break.
All right.
Okay, we'll see you in a bit, guys.
You haven't got.
Clap.
Yeah,
We're back. I didn't open your beer. I'm using the Rode microphone stand thing as a beer holder, beer opener.
I still got this stupid nagging cough for 5 weeks. It's
Did
not
you
even,
get the COVID?
Haven't even had the COVID, as far as I know.
Yeah, I think I,
I did
might
have
have had it.
I had maybe 4. I did 4 of those rat tests in a row. I'm most sick, and they all come back negative. So
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
it's just maybe there's still a common cold out there. Fucking amazing.
Maybe there is. They just haven't done a test for the common cold yet.
No,
You'll be fucking
not
up for
yet.
a test soon.
You wait
You
till
got
the-
it, motherfuckers.
the mandatory-
You better take this shit.
The new mandatory shots out from Pfizer and Moderna. That'll be good.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I can't wait for that. It's going to be so much fun. Yeah.
Let's not talk about that.
Well, we
shit.
did a bit of Ukraine. It's the biggest.
did.
It's a big
That's
news
the
story,
big news.
and look, it's horrible, man. Like, there's some
fucked.
bad shit going on. It didn't have to happen, but don't just think the Russians are the bad guys and they're just doing this for no reason. Just look into it yourself. Look up the Minsk agreement, and that's all you really need to look up because that was the peace agreement that they all signed up to, and yeah, for some reason, the Ukrainians didn't follow it, and Russia's like, oh well.
Those goddamn Americans. They're
Yeah,
again.
well, there's unfortunately it's the goddamn Americans, man. It's not the Ukrainians and that. They got played. They got played big time, and
Yeah.
you know, and they were never. The Yanks were never going to defend the Ukrainians. They were egging them on. They were sending weapons. They're going, go and fight the Russians.
It's
Like,
just-
you fucking come over and
Yeah.
fight the Russians.
It's just so funny that after all these years and all the things that come out after time, that people they still
People-
don't,
and
they
people
still,
still
deny
believe,
it. Like,
well, they believe mainstream media. Like,
Yeah.
hold on, Iraq fucking happened.
Yeah.
Julian Assange is in jail, rotting away. They're trying to kill
Still,
him.
yeah.
Still, like, this is, you know, he's told the truth. So it's, I just can't believe that people actually take it seriously. It weirds me out about people.
It's
I'm like,
it's just a company trying to
Yeah.
make money, man. That's why they're still talking about this stupid thing, this
Yeah.
this COVID bullshit. Like, does anyone need to know the numbers each day?
They-
They
yeah.
don't give. couldn't give two
it's porn,
fucks
man.
anymore. I'm
It's porn
sick of
without
it.
the happy ending.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
There's no relaxing after you get a bloody 2-minute news video. And
Oh, yeah, you turn it off. And,
definitely not
unless
like
something
Red
worse happens, some fucking dude gets eaten by a shark and other people filming it. That's fucking, oh, what a great news story in the morning that fucking
that
shit
was
is.
fucked.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, you don't need to see that. That was, one of my mates was like, look at this, oh my God.
Yeah.
This poor bastard just out there swimming. I mean,
Well, you're in the shark zone.
you
man.
are. You can't, you can't get angry at this shit. My father-in-law straight away, see, we should cull the sharks. And he's a mad fisherman. I'm like, oh, fuck, mate. We was in the ocean. Like, I don't want anyone to die doing it, but it's like,
Yeah,
you know,
that's the risk you fucking
you
take.
do, yeah.
And also fishermen going out there killing all the fucking fish, taking them all. There's
yeah,
fuck all
that's
left for the sharks
I
to eat,
said
man.
that to him also. I brought
Yeah.
that issue up. Like, it's the food's gone.
Yep.
This might not be gone, but I'm sure it's minimised
It's minimised.
from the amount of fishing that we've done to the ocean. So,
Yeah,
I
there's
mean, things are
plenty of
going to change.
documentaries on that.
Yeah. So
Yeah, you can't blame the sharkies. It's not
just
nice,
doing its
though.
thing, isn't it?
And,
It's
and what a way to
definitely
go.
not nice.
You know,
Fuck.
no
that would-
disrespect, but like that's got to be the worst way to go. You think, and also maybe the best, because if your life is about experiences, yeah, you could go out in a hospital bed, you know, all fucked up, and or you fucking eaten by a shark. Like, good on you,
doing what you want to do.
doing what you want to do, and like, you know, it's like I've got a mate, and he showed me this thing. Like, if you're going to jump off into the water from a tall cliff or something, 10 meters or whatever it is, you know, the easiest thing to do is just fucking do it. Don't think, just do it. No, and I went to do that, and he grabbed me and said, "No, man, no, stand there. Look how fucking high it is. Look at that. Look at it. Look at it. Work yourself up.
Then
Fucking
do
freak
it.
yourself out. Then do it."
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where the buzz is, man.
Yeah.
You know?
I reckon
Yeah.
being buried alive is the most brutal way to go.
Oh, of course it would be. That's fucking horrendous. I think
Yeah.
also being like drowned by an alligator, a crocodile would not be fun.
None of these guys know, though, do they?
They don't, because they
they're
haven't
not
done it,
fucking
have
dead.
they? Yeah.
Have you ever heard the story about I think it was Bear Grylls saying about the crocodiles in Northern Territory? And these two Germans went swimming, and one got eaten.
It's always
Sounds like a
Germans.
joke, doesn't it?
It does.
It does a bit. Sorry, I'm just trying to speed it up because I haven't got a camera on me. You know? Anyway,
I've got to get a camera on you. Sorry, man. You got to go on. It's weird for punters.
so anyway,
I can see Freddie
one-
Mercury there. That's Shaddam. Right
yeah,
there.
that's me. Anyway, so one climbed up the tree to get away from this crocodile,
Yeah.
and he ate his mate, and then he sat at the bottom of the tree for 2 days with his mouth open, with half of his mate in its mouth.
Showing
waiting.
off.
And he ended up getting rescued. That guy, he got helicoptered out of there. But yeah,
Yeah.
the crocodile
hell.
sat there the whole time, just
Yeah,
fucking with
monkey.
it.
Waiting for
Going,
him
you got to
fall
come
asleep.
down sometime.
Yeah, crocodiles can wait
They're
a long
savage,
fucking
man.
time, eh, man? They can.
They've waited millions of years. So.
Yeah, yeah. He's probably just saying it to the human race. It's coming, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
You think you're
We're
so
taking
clever. The worst way is just to die, according to
Jesus.
scientists. Like, as in scientists, it's almost, you know, back in the in the Middle Ages, the Dark Ages, and it was all the priests had all the knowledge and stuff.
That's the
According to the
scientists of
priests,
today.
no, it's the scientists.
Yeah.
Scientists say that.
Yeah.
Scientists say this. Scientists say my ass looks big.
He's had. We're pulling you back now.
Oh,
mate.
no,
We're
sorry,
up
man.
2 point.
I was watching the Rick James documentary on SBS.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, it's great. It
Man,
is-
every time I think of Rick James, I just think of the 50 Cent movie, Get Rich or Die Trying.
I haven't seen it. Is
That
he in?
Rick James, look a motherfucker.
Yeah.
That's who he
It's,
thought killed his mum.
Has he put on a shitload of weight? That
I don't
50
know.
Cent?
It's not something I keep up with these days, but
Yeah.
um,
Made $1 yet?
He got a bit of a
it's made a few
punish
of them.
at the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah,
People
people putting
making-
shit on him doing sit-ups and stuff. Yeah, that's when you know you're
Let's
getting
check him
older. When the music of today pisses you off, and also you know what else pisses me off today? Just to be a little bit negative for a second,
Yeah, yeah.
it's like, man, I used to be a big fan of Triple J, and I put it on.
no.
That shit irritates the shit out
it's
of me.
just-
Those
it's
little
fucking
punk,
horrible.
they're trying to be overly progressive or some shit.
Yeah.
Just fuck me. Just can you put some real presenters on that aren't just like
And they got either mega young ones or they got old ones that just won't fuck off. You know?
they're hanging on for to the youth.
And, you know.
He doesn't look that bad.
Oh, he's fucking. How old is he? He's probably almost
50?
55
Pretty
or
well into his
something.
50s, man.
God, leave him alone. And he's
He looks
worth
good.
how much money? Who cares?
Look how many bitches he's got around.
Yeah, man.
That Rick James thing, it had this girl that was being produced by Rick James, and she was a young up-and-coming artist. You know, she'd had a bit of a tough life, and she got to stay with Rick James for 3 months while he was producing her album. And he had this chick hanging out with him, you know, his thing for a while. And she goes, in the whole 3 months, I never knew her name. I just realised. Because all he ever called her was bitch.
Oh
He
my
said,
god.
bitch, get me that. Bitch, I want this. I just go, okay. He was a character.
He's ruthless.
Oh, he's fucking ruthless, man. You know.
That's
So
bizarre.
you got to watch.
He kidnapped someone, didn't he?
Yeah, he went to jail. Him and his wife got into a thing. You know, evidently, but, yeah, you know, he did it. But like his early life, I don't want to give the documentary away, but you know, it's on SBS. It's, can't remember. It's called Bitch something, I think. And
Bitch.
and
Of course it is.
of course, it is.
What do you want to call him? Bitch.
It's got to have bitch in there.
So he, but when he was a young guy, he was growing up in Buffalo, this shit old little town, and he got drafted into the Navy, and he was a couple of weeks into that, and said, fuck this, and he went AWOL, went up to Canada, and he thought, oh, Canada's nice, they're not so racist up here and shit, and someone called him nigger, and he got into a fight, I think it was in Toronto, and he's getting his ass kicked by this gang of white assholes. And then he gets saved by these dudes. These hippie dudes come over and save him, all right. And it's the band. The band's like Bob Dylan's band, you know. And put the Lord right on me. They came over and they saved Rick James' ass.
Shit.
And they introduced him to this little guy called Neil Young. And so he starts playing with Neil Young. They form a band. So he's in Neil Young's fucking band.
Fucking hell.
They get
Talk
signed
about luck.
Oh, like, this is the life. And then he flies down to Motown. They end up firing their manager. The manager gets the shits with them and tells the army that Rick James is here and he's fucking AWOL. So he gets stuck in jail, and then Neil Young goes off and becomes famous and all that, and he's kind of fucked. But then he ends up in LA and he makes friends with this hairdresser who's Sharon Tate's hairdresser, and he gets invited to a party. Now, the party was at the mansion. It was the night of the Marilyn Manson, the Manson murders.
Oh, shit.
So he was supposed to be at that fucking party. He was mates with all of them, and his missus wanted to go, and he goes, nah, I'm hungover, I can't be fucked. And they didn't go that night.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, man. There we go.
1993.
93, yeah. There's the cocaine's a hell of a drug.
under the influence of crack cocaine.
Yeah. Well, he said she was into it. You know, like you watch the doco and all that. Like, it was a wild. If you're going to Rick James's party, man, like, it's
It's expected,
it's
isn't it?
kind of expected.
You're getting kidnapped.
Yeah,
And
Poor
you're going to be
George
called a
did that,
bitch.
you know, it's just the thing. Yeah. But look at it, he was fucking hilarious. And it's
Look at the perm.
Oh, man.
wasn't it beautiful?
It's a great.
Wow. To have that hair.
You know, like, and he died and stuff. Like my brother was saying, though, you know, like, because his family's saying it's a real bummer. And but I'm like, hold up, you know, like, this guy in 1,000 years, they're going to know Rick James. He's revered like Zeus.
He's
You
lived,
know,
he's
he's
lived
lived
four
this
lifetimes
fucking
in one.
life.
I think Chappelle revamped everything.
Oh, he did,
of it
yeah,
too.
yeah.
For sure.
He it's an interesting point though, like how many lives you can live in one. People get so caught up in like, this is who I am, this is what I do, this the life.
Well,
that
it's
I live.
all a balance. Say,
It's
it's
like-
like as I'm getting older, I'm into like David Sinclair and stuff, longevity, how to live a healthier life. But the balance is you need to live a life while you're fucking doing that.
Because you don't know how, like, we're vulnerable, man. We
Are vulnerable. And even if you lasted 200 years, who wants 200 years of fucking boredom? I don't want to be a cactus in the desert.
Yeah.
You know, so there's a balance to everything, man. You know,
I was thinking about it the other day. I was having a conversation with someone, and they're like, I can't remember what they said. It was about someone struggle or someone going through something, and I was just sitting there thinking, I was like, oh man, I've kind of been through that by the time I was 5.
yeah.
And then I thought about the next block of life of significant shit that happened to me, and I was like, well, there's another. That's only 5 years later.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah.
kind of like, so to that point, it had been someone's whole life experience. But
Yeah,
I'd done it
no,
in 5 years, and then another 5, and then the next 10 years, and then the next 5, and then the next.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, fucking, in their case, I'd lived already 6 lives.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I was like, man, so that kind of would give me like a brighter outlook for everything in the future moving forward.
oh, fuck yeah.
Especially like, and you know, we've talked about it before with leaving the whole identity thing behind as the athlete and whatever. That's been really easy now. Like,
Has it really? Yeah,
it's
you
a
slipped
lot
out of it?
easier, yeah.
Yeah. It took a few goes.
It did.
Yeah.
Now if I feel free of it, and it's like there's so much more to do and experience, and like
So
so many.
I haven't seen an ages, so you've got a big fight, but you're coaching now. So is there a fight coming up?
We're going to start promoting as well.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, brilliant.
As a
Yeah,
worldwide exclusive, eh?
Fucking
Sweet.
A.
Havana Nights.
Yeah. Havana
Fight
Nights.
series.
Can we do it in Cuba, man? Can we do it there?
Oh, that would be so
Is that because
good.
you remember the Russian story?
No.
Yeah.
It's because of it's. What do you think of when you think of Havana? Tell
I think
me.
of palm trees and rum for some reason.
And
Yeah.
hot heat.
Yeah. Warm.
And nice cars.
Bit of festival feel to it.
Yeah.
Good food. There's not. But you think of good
Yeah,
food.
you do.
Dancing, celebration.
Samba.
Yeah, that's the atmosphere we want to create.
Fucking A.
Mm.
Can we have a live band? Can I get a band together? I should know a band.
Hey,
that would be good
That
for
would
it,
be
man.
fucking
We
sick
could do some Polyphia covers.
and completely
Yeah.
different. That would be so good, actually.
No, I was thinking your dad's band and Haley's band.
Oh, yeah.
Like they're fucking
That would be
15-piece
so-
horn band.
That's
and
what
shit,
we're
man.
doing. Something different. Like the way we're sending it out is going to be different. The way we bring it to everyone. We're doing food
Fuck, man,
trucks,
let's
alcohol
film it as
trucks.
well.
That would be really cool.
Yeah, let's do
There's
that.
another
a
element
different,
again.
a different ring. Maybe have 2 rings.
How we
So,
doing?
so you got the one ring, and then you got the fucking other ring. Lights
I
come
don't
on
want to
it.
drop all the info here, but we got a cold, like a tiered cauldron coming. You're going to be sitting over the ring, basically.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's going to be
Yeah.
intimidating.
Like gladiator
Think like,
style.
Bangkok style, like wild.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone, you'll feel everyone that's in there. It's going to be a small show, but everyone's going to know you're there.
Yeah, like the Spiegel tent type shit.
There's going to be like an atmosphere to it, and it's about not just about the fights. It's about the experience of the evening.
Yeah.
With the good, we're going to get good street food.
It's all boxing,
Good
or you're going to
boxing, and then we're going to expand into Muay Thai from Mitch's background.
Yeah.
So that's something that we're excited about doing, and that'll be coming soon to a venue near
Fuck
you.
yeah.
I think we need to give Mitch something too.
Yeah,
He was the winner of last
He was
year's
definitely that we do.
Panda
Needs
views.
another
didn't
trophy.
he? Yeah.
a
And
belt. I reckon we get him a
Have we
smack
going
Panda
1
belt.
year or
Oh.
2 years? I can't remember the years.
Well, it's been about
No.
a year.
Is it?
Yeah,
We've
12 months.
Yeah, it feels like forever ago, but it's kind of like there's a couple of little sections of breaks because of
No breaks. This is it. We're
No
done
breaks,
now.
we're on.
Even if everyone's sick, something will be happening on this motherfucking camera.
yep.
At least once a week.
Whether it's fans only or
That's right.
whatever we got to do, we're staying on,
We're
staying relative
on. I'll be brushing my teeth.
to
You
rebuild
guys
the
will
audience.
get content. Rebuild it, but also, like hit it hard.
Yeah.
We're a bit older now. We're a bit
Yeah.
more savvy, as you can tell by this wonderful production today.
Well,
On that note,
on that note, let's kick it.
let's kick it.
Hit it and quit it. First one back, nice and short and sharp, and we will be back next week. That was savagely cut.
That was so loud.
See you guys.
That's great. See ya.
Tune in.
That's some new music.
Just give me